had loads of academy players break through now, so you just know that path's always there for you.
Aidan's come in, he's been great for the system. He's been really, really good. He's very mature for his age, and he's fitted in really well with the coaching system.
So it's not all just about rugby. The skills we use here are quite, you can use in your personal life. So you might not necessarily get picked, you might not necessarily be the best player, but if you do all the 1%ers and the 1% efforts, they all add up, and I think that adds up in life as well. So outside of rugby, in school, and having the discipline as well, I think everything adds up.
Finish on the retreat on the field. Okay.
Do it. So, Aidan, it's a cold, dark Wednesday night. What are you doing with the Giants youngsters?
Just finished scholarship training, and then the 16s now off to do their gym. 15s get to go home.
What is it you're actually doing here though? Because you're a first team player, you don't have to be down here, so why are you helping out with the scholarship? We've heard of a couple of lads mention you come down and that they appreciate that, so what is it?
Sort of just, Foxy asked me to come down at the end of last season, and I thought it's the same pathway that I've come through. I struggled a bit sort of when I was going through my 15s and my 16s. I wasn't quite where everyone else was, so I thought using my experience to try and help basically the next generation.
Yeah, and we spoke to a lot of lads last week, and they spoke about how tough that transition is from 15s to 16s and getting that contract into the academy level. What are your experiences of that from when you had to go through it?
Yeah, so I initially came in on a 3-month trial from 15s. 15s I struggled. I think I only played one game, and then in my under 16s I started to kick on. I just got an academy contract, and then my first year academy is sort of when I started to kick on. But I think it's important that people develop at different stages. So mindset is a big one, and that people develop mentally and physically in different stages. So I think it's important to always be keeping in the system.
Oh, what was it for you that kept you going? Because that sort of mentality to keep going despite not getting the game time you want, and obviously feeling that you weren't at the place that you wanted to be. How did you keep going through that?
I think you've got to love what you do rather than thinking of the end result. If you're thinking of the end result, that's when you start to get disheartened. But if you love sort of the process of it, and don't necessarily focus on the outcome, I think that's when the best results come.
And it says a lot about yourself that you'd come down and help out in this way to the other lads. What do you say to some of the players here? Because as Fox said last week, it's a lot of these players, some of the players won't make it to that next level. So how do you help them prepare for that potentiality, and how do you help them get to that next level? So
it's not all just about rugby. I think rugby, the skills we use here are quite, you can use in your personal life. So you might not necessarily get picked, you might not necessarily be the best player, but if you do all the 1%ers and the 1% efforts, they all add up, and I think that adds up in life as well. So outside of rugby, in school, and having the discipline as well, I think everything adds up.
Are you ready to begin? Yeah, on you guys. Go! Let's go! Corner! Yeah, get my lead. Get
And so, what was it that? Do you have a passion for coaching then? Is it something that you'd be looking to go into in the future?
Yeah, definitely. So I used to coach my old amateur team, which was Linley St Joe's. I did that last year and I enjoyed that, and then I think Foxy asked me to come down at the end of last year, and I thought I'll give it a shot. I do enjoy it, so it's something that I could possibly look into in the future.
And something Foxy also mentioned was how supportive that Watto had been with that, because obviously you're still training with the first team and you're coming down here as well. Has he said anything to you about this, and what's his message about it?
Yeah, definitely. So Watto's been supportive with Watto and Foxy have been supportive. Sometimes I've got to miss a few scholarship sessions because obviously I'm training with my first team, but Watto always helps me out with any details that I need to go through, or if I needed any tips, or if there was a question that one of the youngsters that asked me that I wasn't quite sure of, I can always go to him for advice.
And it's almost as if like you're coming here to help coach out, but you're also learning yourself. You're still developing yourself as a coach and almost as a player. Does it help you as an individual and a player being able to help people with their mistakes almost?
Yeah, definitely, because it's also learning the system. We want the same system throughout the whole club. So if there's something that I'm still not quite sure on, I can see it during the sessions, and it helps me to understand it more by explaining it to other people. So yeah, it definitely helps me.
And what is it you want to sort of get out of this? And because I don't know if you had the same sort of help when you were at this level, because obviously if Leroy comes down as well, and I know a couple of players pop up to when the academy games are on. Did you have that support, and are you sort of wanting to continue this on later into your career as well?
Yeah, so definitely when I was in academy, pushing through, there was definitely some support. But I think what everyone's trying to build now is the one club mentality. So throughout the club, everyone knows each other, everyone says hello, and sort of a family, bringing it all together as one club.
And in terms of coming back here and helping out at this scholarship level, does it give you good memories of your time? And obviously said it wasn't the easiest for you, but does it sort of give you those memories of being at this level, and do you sometimes wish you were still there?
Yeah, definitely. Flashbacks to when I was coming straight from school, coming down here, the late nights, early Saturday mornings, that's the killer. But yeah, no, definitely enjoy it, a few flashbacks, but happy with where I'm at now. But glad to have progressed.
Okay, guys, listen up.
And from your perspective as someone who's been through the system, how important is this scholarship system to the Giants as a whole?
Yeah, massive. The steps from scholarship to academy to first team get bigger and bigger each time. So having a good scholarship system means you get to a good academy system, and then it means it's easier to produce first team players. And everyone understanding the same system, so that you're not having to reteach people when they're going through this each step of their journey.
And can you see a couple of lads in the teams at the moment who you reckon will make it there in the future?
Yeah, definitely. There's a good few potentials, but like I said, people develop at different rates as well. So there's some people that might not necessarily be the best players on the team, but if they're doing all the 1% efforts and not doing what the values, then they can obviously progress as well.
And finally, I guess are you going to carry on doing this for as long as you possibly can? You this season you're on loan at Batley. Obviously, you're still training with the first team. It's not the most sort of quiet of schedules, is it?
No,
quite full on.
Yeah, quite full on, but I'm enjoying it. So, and I think it's only going to help me. So yeah, hopefully carry it on, and I'm enjoying it. So do my best.